Just about everything has been photoshopped. Precisely, it is about what 5 people think this reality consists of. How an incident happens may reflect nothing about the incident itself, but it must reflect something about the person involved in the happening and supplying the how. 5 people interpret an action, and each interpretation is different because, in the telling and in the retelling, the people reveal not the action but themselves. For the first time several months ago, I spent hours looking at the facade of the cathedral, but only when I bought a book on the cathedral a week later did I really see it. The photographs enabled me to see in a way that my naked eye could not possibly see the cathedral. The function proper to knowledge is interpreting. Scriptural commentary, commentaries on ancient authors, on the accounts of travellers, on legends and fables. None of these forms of discourse is required to justify its claim to be expressing a truth before it is interpreted. All that is required of it is the possibility of talking about it. There is more work in interpreting interpretations than in interpreting things, and more books about books than any other subject. With famous books, the first time is already the second, since we approach them already knowing them. The cautious common saying of rereading the classics turns out to be an innocent veracity. We are always somehow rereading a classic because we have encountered some previous incarnation of it, a refraction, in other stories, texts or versions. What are the many versions if not diverse perspectives of a movable event, if not a long experimental assortment of omissions and emphases? If no one drawing should singly answer the personal taste, there will yet be found a variety of hints sufficient to construct a new one. I am confident I can convince all who will honour me with their commands that every design can be improved, both as to beauty and enrichment in the execution of it. Every writer creates his precursors. I express unlimited thanks to all the authors that have in the past, by compiling from remarkable instances of skill, provided us with abundant materials of different kinds. Drawing from them as it were water from springs, and converting them to our own purposes, we find our own powers of writing rendered more fluent and easy, and relying upon such authorities, we venture to produce new systems of instruction. Same, but different. The multiverse is composed of a quantum superposition of infinitely many, increasingly divergent, non-communicating parallel universes or quantum worlds. Every historical what-if compatible with the initial conditions and physical law is realized. All outcomes exist simultaneously but do not interfere further with each other, each single prior world having split into mutually unobservable but equally real worlds. A sculpture cannot merely be copied but always only staged or performed. It begins to function like a piece of music whose score is not identical to the piece, the score being not audible but silent. For the music to resound, it has to be performed. The more images, mediations, intermediaries, icons are multiplied and overtly fabricated, explicitly and publicly constructed, the more respect I have for their capacities to welcome, to gather, to recollect meaning and sanctity. Flesh is a glebe, bones are rocks, veins great rivers, the bladder is the sea, and the 7 principal organs are the metals hidden in the shafts of mines. Because 4 is better than 1.